been a thing going on, which is called hit piece, and my phone has been blowing up all day because of it. What it is that it's a website that's called joinhitpiece.com or something, and it's essentially using a Discord API to get all the albums and all the tracks from Spotify to host it on their site to sell it as NFTs. Some of Hugo's music included, if I'm not mistaken. The thing is that at no point during all this did they ask for permission to do this or inform people that they were going to do this. And as many of these musicians have rightfully stated, because obviously a huge shitstorm started to happen, and then Hit Piece came out and was like, don't worry, we are totally going to pay the authors for every time that an NFT of our songs are sold. And then sure enough, all the musicians reach out and go, how are you gonna do that when you haven't even asked me for my fucking payment information? How are you gonna transfer me any money when you don't even know who I am? If this whole thing hadn't blown up, I would have no way of knowing that you even did this bullshit.
The first couple words when you were explaining this to me just now, I was thinking, wow, this sounds like a really cool pirating program. I guess it's like new LimeWire. And then you dropped it to an NFT, and I'm just laughing to myself. I kind of want to put this in tears. NFTs are slowly pushing their fucking luck on this. There's fucking around with YouTube, there's fucking around with game publishers, there's fucking around with Shueisha and anime companies. But now you're fucking with the music industry.
As a whole.
And in general, as a whole. All at once through Spotify.
Yeah.
They take their licensing, more than Nintendo, more than fucking anime people. You put a fucking 10 seconds of a song. If you have a song that sounds something like a song that's in WMG's library, your ass is gonna get fucking sued nowadays. And these people are just selling songs.
Cloudy, I want you to know that among these songs that are on this website now are Disney songs. Holy shit!
I'm waiting for this. Oh my god, if you've ever needed a reason to jump out of crypto, this would be it.
I am flabbergasted. Nukes are being armed right now. There's a fucking reckoning coming. Holy shit, as the chat is saying. You flew too close to the sun here, I think. What? So the whole thing happened, and people obviously started to complain about it, because why wouldn't you? And so they put out a response, and it's the most cocky shit you ever fucking heard, where they go, we started the conversation, now we're listening. And there's I think over 10,000 replies to this fucking tweet, and it's just I scrolled for an hour or something, and every tweet is just fuck you, fuck your face, and the naked came writing in on, what the fuck is this? And then I saw 4 people who were I want to sue you guys, where's your legal information? I want to get hold of your legal team, fucking go right now. Because, again, these are musicians, all of fucking Spotify, more or less, right? These people, some of these people have money. When you started ripping off little wee baby artists like us, obviously we don't have the money to do a fucking class action lawsuit.
Yeah,
but these people do. Nintendo and Disney have the money.
They will fight you for everything you're worth, and I have to imagine that like everyone who's purchased an NFT is like the same thing as like buying stolen goods or some shit like that. So I can imagine if you're holding on to an NFT, you're not holding a link to the song in Spotify. You're holding a link to that to where it's been illegally uploaded.
Yeah.
So you're fully endorsing it. So you're also part of the problem and also liable for this shit.
Since our last podcast, there's been a bunch of crypto stuff that I just wanted to get through real quick because it has become a meme at this point that every podcast we have to dunk on NFTs and we have to dunk on Blizzard. I don't think I do have something on Blizzard today actually, but like that's kind of become a meme. So I just kind of want to go through that real quick. But you were saying something about this.
Sorry, I kind of like lost my train of thought, but I'm just basically saying like I can't wait for this shit to implode. It's stupid. But yeah, continue.
Okay, so some stuff has happened in the world of crypto. One, OpenSeas, which is one of the places where like most NFT of art has been uploaded to, has come out with a report stating that we have become aware that over 80% of all the free that is being minted for free on our website are stolen or fraudulent in any way. And we are going to take measures to prevent this from happening. Then they backed out on that. 80% of all their free minted bullshit is illegal. And they are not gonna do a fucking thing about it. That just shows how much scum they are.
Yeah, no, of course.
Speaking of scum, Ice Poseidon.
I know where you're going. Yeah, I know about this one.
A known streamer decided to make his own cryptocurrency coin. And people started, investigating this. And there was, and people were like, hey, Ice, dude who looks like he smells like rotten socks. This thing makes me worried. Why should I invest in this? I'm thinking of the whole Save the Children debacle. Can you promise us that's not going to happen? And I started going, don't worry, I have CoffeeZilla, who is a known crypto detective guy. He's like one of the people who blew up the Save the Children debacle like wide open. Don't worry, I've gotten his blessings on this, and CoffeeZilla is like, no, you fucking did not. But what makes this situation so interesting is that, and if I had like a confetti gun, I would have shut it out. But the crypto market is currently crashing, and has done so since the 26th of January, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what exactly triggered it, but according to what I hear, it's because it's taxing time, and so people are just dumping out so they don't have to pay as many taxes or something. I don't know how exactly it works, but never mind that. So because the crypto market is currently crashing, and thank God for that, ICE decided now would be a good time to pay out all of the money that was thrown into this coin, which is about $500,000. And so CoffeeZilla puts out a video where he's explaining everything about this scenario, where he also talks about how ICE had given him a crypto wallet so that Coffee could hold ICE accountable for every action that he might do. But the problem is that he sent him the wrong wallet, and it was instead like a marketing wallet or something that barely got touched, while
it was like basically the receipt that like tells you what he bought, but it doesn't tell you like how much he paid for it. It was like, it was a bullshit. It was a really shitty thing to do. Yeah.
So ICE pays out all of this money. Again, $500,000 of his fans' money that they have invested in this thing, because the whole thing about crypto is that, oh, we are a community. Oh, we're in this together. And then like all of his community are like, hey, I look up to ICE. he's my bro. He's never led me astray. I'm gonna invest some money in this, and maybe we can all get rich together. And so Ice draws out all of this money that his fans have put into this whole thing, and pays it out to himself. And Coffee confronts him about it in a call where he's like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? I can fucking see here that you're scamming your fans out of $500,000. What in the fuck are you doing, bro?" And so Ice,
the best part,
go on.
I was gonna say the best part about that, like, he wasn't even offensive, or he was like, "Yo, bro, it's not too late to do the good thing. You can still just, give it back. Yeah. You've been caught red-handed. Just like, this is obviously wrong. You know it's wrong. Give it back, and everything will be fine." Yeah,
like no one needs to get hurt. Just give it back and let that be it. But I was just like, "Oh no, but the market is crashing, and I would rather like cash, and then rather than the money going up in smoke, I can just take it." And I'm like, "No, or you can give it back to your investors. What the hell?" And no shit, Ice then without hesitating goes, "I gotta look out for number one."
Oh, my favorite thing he said that just like got under my skin was like, "Don't you agree with me that it's also part of the investor's responsibility not to fall for this shit?" I'm like,
How do you like? So this is incredibly short-sighted. Because like, how are you ever going to? The chat is asking who the fuck is this scumbag? His name is Ice Poseidon.
He's a Twitch streamer.
He's a Twitch streamer, and again, he looks like he smells like a yogurt that's been out in the sun for like a month. But and then like Coffee is like, "Hey, you can still pay back. You can still pay back." And so Ice then DMs him later, going, "I'm gonna put back 200K or something." And then he doesn't even do that. And it's just like the most fucking stupid thing in the world. I don't recall who said it, but there was someone who said something akin to the effect of, "Imagine robbing a house, and like you steal the smart devices, the phones, the necklaces, the TVs, the bed, everything that's not nailed down. You steal all of it, and then you drop off the remote to one of the TVs that you stole and put it in the mailbox." That is akin to what Ice is currently doing, where he steals all this shit, but he's like, maybe they won't be as mad if I hand over a pittance of all the shit that I've stolen.
He didn't even give like the money back. He gave like what he ended up doing was like he took a small portion of the money, put it into like a dead cryptocurrency, and then gave that out. It's like, it's not $200,000, it's 200,000 rocket coins, which is probably like the equivalent of like $500.
It's probably Monopoly money.
Well, it is at the end of the day. I'm just, okay. So a story was actually brought up on like in like general chat of like of something that happened. I just want to touch on that quickly after we touch on Ice Poseidon. Yeah. But like, if there isn't like any further proof to like all this cryptocurrency shit is just nothing but like scams and shit, don't fall for it. The reason people are doing this is because they can get away with it. When people are so happy about fucking, no regulation, this is what you fucking get. People just running around doing rug pulls and not feeling ashamed of it. If there isn't a threat, like, even Ice Poseidon even, like, admits in the video that, like, he would used to do, like, credit card phishing scams as, like, a kid, as, like, a teenager. And the only reason he never, quote-unquote, gone through with them is because he was afraid of going to jail. But he can't go to jail for this. He's just going to lose his reputation. But there's still always going to be fucking idiots who are willing to support him no matter what he does.
Yeah.
So, honestly, never hold these people accountable and never forgive them, honestly.
we're reaching a point now where like I'm frustrated that every fucking week, like we're not. It's not a meme that we keep bringing up NFTs for the fucking fun of it. There's literally a new story about how NFTs are the worst thing that has ever been created. Every fucking week, multiple stories every fucking week. I am getting so tired, I'm getting exhausted that this fucking Ponzi scheme has grown so large. And I have people in my fucking family who are like, hey, maybe I should invest in NFTs. And I'm just, stop fucking talking about it. Stop doing it. Just let this whole thing die. It was a bad idea. The concept was noble. Just fucking kill it. Who the fuck are you helping? Yourself. No one else. And it's and it's just so disingenuous. I am fucking livid and tired and exhausted, and I just want everyone who is like trying to cheat someone out of NFTs to take a long walk on a short pier.
I love that phrase. Like, how do I put this? Because like, living in America, this makes so much sense. Because crypto trading, all this bullshit. This is just like the de facto American dream. This is what we have been like taught and raised, and like. We like when you live in this country, the dream is to like get as much money as possible for as little effort as possible. And that's what cryptocurrency is. It is an avenue to commit like money laundering without the penalty that money laundering entails. Because there's no regulations yet, people are running fucking wild trying to steal as much from each other as possible. So it's to be expected. And it's not going to go away until the fuckheads in at least in some countries, if America's not going to do it because we're slow as fucking hell, just until like some regulations being done and people start cracking down, this is going to keep going. I look forward to the day when it just stops and dies altogether, but it's not going to be for a while. Yeah. So, gotta live with it at this point.
I've seen that China, of all places, have finally started doing something about it. And it's like, okay, for once, China, I'm with you. Come over here.
Like, listen, when they're like the whole government structure there, they are so tight on control. They don't even let you have a religion if it isn't sanctioned by the government there. So you better fucking believe if people are just trading money under the government's eye, they're gonna crack down on that like that.
Yeah.
So, not for the best reasons, but you know what? Progress is progress at this fucking point.
I guess I just, like, when cryptocurrency was just a bunch of retards stealing from each other and tricking each other and doing Ponzi schemes on each other, then I was fine with it. Because it's this group of idiots who are just fucking with each other. And I'm like, oh, I like to watch two idiots fight each other. Because I don't need a winner. Because I got plenty of losers. That was fine. That was fun. I like seeing people invest their crypto money in dumb shit and then be rug pulled. And we're like, oh no, who could have seen this happen when I started trading shit in an unregulated thing? Like, I don't know. Maybe fucking everyone could have seen that coming. So that was fine, but now it has transitioned outside of that. Now people who have no interest or care for cryptocurrency are getting fucked along with them. Artists are getting their art stolen. Musicians are getting their music stolen. People who believe in a good cause are investing in this good cause only to find out that it's actually just a way for the people who created it to get rich. And the money that they invested for a good cause is no longer going to that. People who have no interest in these fucking Ponzi schemes of crypto are now becoming the victim. And that's where it becomes a problem. Because again, when it was just a bunch of crypto bros fucking each other in the ass, I was clapping my hands because fuck these people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But now it's everyone. People who didn't sign up for this shit. People like me who just wants a fucking GPU for fuck's sake so I can do stuff that actually entertains people and makes people enjoy themselves. I can't fucking do that because some fuckhead is buying 60,000 plus of them, storing them in a warehouse, killing the earth just so he can fucking download a JPEG of a fucking coin and then try and sell it. Fuck these people.
Oh yeah, definitely. Honestly. I think back to like the guy who actually posted pictures of it and then it got broken into and stolen. I'm like, good for them. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel bad about crimes happening to criminals, to be honest with you.
No.
Because it's basically what it is. I wonder how El Salvador is doing as they sadly make cryptocurrency their currency, I heard. Oh yeah, no, it's fucked over there. I have family down there, and they are not having a good time. They had a better time when there were fucking mafia people running around. If you can believe that. But again,
I'm having no trouble believing that.
It's like it's easier to buy a bag of crickets with like $20 than it is to buy like an actual meal. It's insane. Just to quickly side tangent, there is a story I wanted to tell because this was shared in the Webcomic Release Discord, and I'm not going to name any names or give it any specifics, but supposedly, somebody on Facebook was having a meltdown because they had an OnlyFans account, and you know what? That's fine. They were selling their lewds and stuff. And okay, you know what? Do you? I respect that. But then they had the gall. There's oh, NFTs are a thing. I'll sell my lewds as NFTs. But then they're having a whole meltdown because now the NFT is being passed and forth through a bunch of people because it's being passed around and resold. Normally you would only have to worry about, somebody, sharing pictures in secret when you post something like that online. But when you make it as an NFT, you're giving people... I mean, license is a wrong word for it, but you're giving people license to resell it when you make an NFT of whatever. So if you make an NFT of your lewds, expect those lewds to belong to everybody now.
Yeah.
Because the people who are legitimately using NFTs, of course they're gonna resell it, and then you have everyone else who's I'll just fucking right click the image, that's just out in the open now, and that's just what it is now.
Yeah.
Part of me feels bad, but it kind of goes to show that the people who want to take advantage of NFTs don't know jack fucking shit. Fuck, my older brother he has two, I spent $3K building this baby with the last of my savings. And I even had to ask my brother to go to his scalper friend to get me this GPU. Apparently my brother has 2 of these things downstairs. One of them he uses for crypto mining, and the other one he's trying to learn Unity so he can make a game with NFTs in it. And I'm no, everyone's just fucking grifting it. There's no other reason besides that. It's crazy.
You know that there are sometimes those vigilante super hackers who does hacking for a good cause. I want them to hack into wherever these NFTs are stored and replace every image with the anarchist cookbook. The URL goes to the anarchist cookbook. Because because that way you can just take all of these NFTs and go to FBI and go, hey, these people are sharing the anarchist cookbook, and then just watch mayhem happen.
You know, they keep mentioning, it's always stored on the blockchain. But, even if you have the URL there, you can always redirect the URL.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's really not hard to make a google.com hyperlink, but it sends you to like I don't know, Silk Road on the dark web or some shit. First thing that came to mind. It is really easy to do that. So I'm wondering, I wonder if there's like a scam you can do where you're trying to like sucker in NFT people, and you sell them an NFT, but when they click on the NFT and try to resell it, it does send them to like the Anarchist Cookbook or something like illegal, and then you can just like, I think like there's like a term for that. I think it's called honeypot, where you can just like basically set an obvious trap and just take everyone into legal custody who fall for that trap.
Yeah. I have no pity, I have no qualms for these people to get fucked in the ass by legal stuff when so much, like, it's one of those things where if so much of your community is illegal in some ways, stuff needs to happen. I think one of the first talks we had on this podcast was about how when there are so many sex offenders in Smash, you need to look at the Smash community and go, how the fuck do we fix this? Oh, and yeah. That's like 2% maybe of the Smash community that are sex offenders. So, but just like, again, to use what was it called? OpenSeas? The
Open Season? What was it?
OpenSeas. Like 80% there is stolen or fraudulent. Like that's not 2%. That is 40 times as much. You need to look at this. I get that it's unregulated, but that's also why it's a fucking, like, you're fucking everyone. How are you so delusional and short-sighted? I do not get it. Honestly, they remind me of furries with how people just go, yeah, people are doing all horrible illegal shit, but we're just gonna continue like this isn't a big problem. But even, like, this is gonna, like, even the furries, it's not meant to be, like, even them, like, have you seen them? But, like, even the furries had, like, a point where the whole Carol the Wolf and the Zoophile shit happened. Every fucking furry disowned these people. Almost every fucking furry disowned these people. So, like, they are good at knowing that, hey, we got these fucking psychopaths in our community. We need to do something about it. So, these people are more fucking brain dead than, like, the little credit that the furries have gotten.
Oh, yeah, no. Like... I'm trying to find a way to put this, but it's just... Again, we're not dunking on furries, even though we like to sometimes. We like to do a little trolling as a kid.
It's that teasing elbow in the side, like,
But it's like, people will shit on furries all the fucking time, but, like, when they're more accountable than this shit... Yeah. Because, like, the furries will go, like... You will have some furries who, like, care more about, like, the image of community more than the actual sex offenders. And, like, they're worried about how that would damage. But for the ones that actually go... But there are a really large portion of the furry community who will go out of their way to, like, shun and, like, try to yeet these gross-ass motherfuckers out of there. So it shows they're putting more of an effort than anyone in this whole NFT thing. Because I remember, like, the first time NFTs were brought up, and we were, like, ignorant about this in our wonderful days that those were. Yeah. Like, whenever you tried to have a conversation, whoever tried to talk you were talking with, they were, like, always dodging the questions, like, that's not NFT's fault, that's not NFT's fault, that's not NFT's fault. Even though they can't even give you a fucking straight answer of what these things are.
Yeah.
People see, oh, fuck, I'm gonna get some money. And, like, they just do it.
I wish I had that confrontation with my friend who was trying to get me to do NFTs when I knew as much about NFTs as I do now. Because he was saying some straight up clown shit that's not true. Like, again, and I actually brought this up, like, a few minutes before the podcast, where I had a thought, like, like, okay, so let's say you buy an NFT. God forbid, but let's say you buy an NFT. And then you own this hyperlink. Because we can agree that, okay, so if there is anything that you own in an NFT transaction, it is the hyperlink. Mm-hmm. What is your proof of this ownership? Is it like the transaction on the blockchain? Because that transaction can surely be for anything. Do you get like an item thing on it? And even then, if you do own it, what do you have to let's say someone steals this thing that you own. The crypto space is unregulated. Who do you turn to? There's no crypto cops or court or anything. There's nothing preventing people from like fucking with your intellectual property in any way. And again, as we've been over many times before, the copyright does not like transfer when you do an NFT transaction. And it's not like you can DMCA anyone, because to do a DMCA, you need to have a legal court paper showing that that you own this intellectual property. So what the fundamentally, this is so busted, broken, and stupid that even these core things are not even like solid. There's nothing here.
Worry that the more this goes on, the more money is traded, the higher the likelihood the governments are going to get involved and regulate even more in the end. No, that's just a certainty. Like, I want you to think back to a year or like a couple years ago, back when like Zuckerberg was like in front of the fucking where was he? Like, was he in front of like the U.S. government, or was he in front of like the world thing?
I don't know, but it was pretty serious.
It was pretty serious. And like, you can pretty much tell that like the people in charge, the governments, are like they got like an idea that he was from the Galactic Council.
You know?
I wish. But no, but like, you can tell they have a general idea like this is bad, but they couldn't even articulate or comprehend what the fuck he was doing. And that's just the case all over the goddamn place. Like, and if there's one thing you know about governments, they're gonna wanna like get a tighter hold on this thing. When you have so many goddamn people like abusing the system, the people are gonna like course correct super goddamn hard and make it harder for everyone else going forward. That's just a fact. Everything that these NFTs people are doing, they're just enabling all the governments who are going to be like eventually slamming the hammer down on everybody. It's one of those things where it's like you might as well go ahead and do the grift, because what's going to happen afterwards when all this shit is out the window, it's probably going to look a lot more bullshit than it is right now.
I mean, they've already started taking steps to regulating it a little bit, because if you recall, at the end of the summer, they announced that people who own NFTs now have to pay taxes of it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I'm typically like in the same camp as Alice in the chat is, where it's like I don't want like all this government regulation of everything. Sometimes it's like, let kids be kids kind of thing. Like, okay, like just do your thing. But here, regulate that shit, because that's gonna make these cunts stop.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, oh man, it's one of those things where like it's like I said, like, even if I don't want regulation, I can definitely see it's gonna happen, because you look how bad all this abuse is happening. Like, yeah. They're gonna act, and it's not gonna be pretty. All because a bunch of people can't keep their fucking hands out of their goddamn pants. I hate it.
Anarchist state is a nice idea in theory until everyone starts fucking each other over. So
yeah, like, that's literally what this whole crypto bullshit is at the moment. It's great.
If there's one thing. If there's one thing this whole crypto thing has proven, is that man is not mature enough to handle the responsibility of an unregulated trading system.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But okay, so did you have anything more to say about this whole thing? Because then I figured it was time to shift gears.
I had I haven't looked at my Robinhood in years, and not in a year. And I still somehow had 1,000 Dogecoin, so I just sold it all. Now I have $150, which is great because I've been kind of poor this last month. If we can do that if we can transition into
fuck it, give it to me.
All right, so I told you about. We both had some things to talk about our jobs recently because you have something really good, and I kind of have something good in retrospect. But last month I've not been around so much. I've kind of been in a weird, shitty position because I have not had any hours at all. I think I worked 20 over the course of January. And that's because, I've been having this weird retaliatory bullshit going between me and, the management of the place I'm contracted to work at. So, they told me I couldn't really, I wasn't allowed to pick up certain kinds of tasks. And I can only take a different kind of task. But for the entirety of the month of January, because things were starting up, I was on none of the tasks I could have done were available because they happened at the end of the month. So they forced me to let the work pile up, and I just had to sit with my thumb up my ass doing nothing. So I think I got $40 in my savings and my checking right now between the two of them because they didn't give me any fucking hours to work with. And just on Monday, before the podcast, I got told, oh, hey, we kind of need you to start picking things up now. Why aren't you doing that? And I'm you guys literally told me I couldn't. Here is here's the message, the screenshot of the message you told me don't pick these up that you sent to me in October. And I'm oh, oopsie, I forgot. Whoops. And now, because of that, they're swamped because all the full-timers who would normally take those easy tasks had to be hey, we need you to do something else. And we're we're literally only a team of 5 people. We can't do all this ourselves. Oh, if only we had someone else. We need to hire someone. What about Cloudy? Oh, right!
I'm just imagining them using a bat signal and shining up in the sky, and there's just a cloud.
I wouldn't be so salty if it wasn't for that, honestly. But it's just oh, I guess you're just gonna use me until you need me, then put me aside. Okay, Cloudy will remember this.
Cloudy will remember this.
First off, I'm glad because this is the first time I've had 8-hour weeks since September. Fucking hell.
God damn.
But I'm gonna make the money, but I'm also using this podcast. I'm also taking this podcast in paid time because fuck it. When they treat you like shit, I think it's fine to be able to treat them like shit. Oh, eye for an eye. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a cloud. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god! Look, it's a bird. No, it's a plane. No, it's a cloud. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Man, Cloudy Man as a superhero is gonna be full of shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am just happy, but also I'm just man, don't take shit from anybody. If it weren't for the fact that I can't quit because I am under contract until May, I would have probably left in October because you shouldn't need to take shit from someone who treats you like shit.
Oh, absolutely not.
But everybody's got to frickin' eat.
Yeah,
and I'm a work. And if they offer me to work, I'm just gonna tell them flat out, I'm not planning on coming back here. I hope you know that. Because
unless the circumstances change.
All the circumstances change. Cloudy Man would be 100% better than me and the Lightbringer.
Then it's me, the Lightbringer. Oh god.
I was gonna say something else about standing up for yourself in a corporate workplace, and honestly, it's not really that deep. It's just I think we're in a position nowadays where we have grifters on the left and everyone's working from home and Corona's on the right. It's more you know what? Fuck it, I don't have to take this.
Yeah.
I know you want me to think that I need to take this, but
I don't.
No, I don't. I can do anything else. There are people all the time like opening up like work from home because they thought, oh, we're never gonna do work from home. Well, they'll go somewhere that does. You need a dick. You wanna be swamped? Good luck to you, buddy. I ain't helping you.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, yeah. Occasionally look around like, dude, guy. Like he's always looking for someone to attack him.
It's because I have the chat over here, so I'm like every now and again I'm looking over there.
To be fair, like if okay, so I have been very lazy, but I do have like all the materials to make a Cloudy VTuber. I just haven't put it together because I'm a lazy fuck. But if when I do get a webcam and I do get that puppet going and we finally have the stream where Cloudy's moving around, you're gonna see me do the same goddamn thing because I also have 3 screens to work with.
I would legit love to have a VTuber of me. That would be cool. But I'm just gonna piggyback right a little off that whole thing of like standing up for yourself in the workplace to talk about my situation, because this week has been a fucking struggle and a half. That actually yesterday culminated in me losing my absolute cool. So, what I'm doing right now, and I can't get into too much detail, but we're working for pretty big client. Like, I could say the word and there's a 99% chance you would know the client. They're pretty big. And so we're making an e-learning course, which is essentially just like online courses that you have to go through to learn about certain topics. And so one of these slides that are in this course, I had to do. And in that, I had to have a box appear. And so in that box, I had a vertical picture. And then next to it, I had a text where, like stuff is written in. And then I showed that to my supervisor, and she's like, I like this, but we need to make it so that there's some variation. Otherwise, people are just gonna get tired to like look at the same thing over and over again. And because this is like such a big client, we can't make it big and sexy. We can't put explosions or anything. So you have to think like super fucking minimal. So I'm like, okay, what if we change it so it's the same type of box, but some of these points that you have to go through, the picture is horizontal and the text is above it. So you have like some boxes that are vertical and some boxes that are horizontal. It takes up the same amount of space. I can easily do that. And so my supervisor is like, yeah, sure, let's see what that's like. And so I would create it and show it to my supervisor, and she's like, that looks great. Okay, let's roll with that. And so I make the entire course using these boxes of vertical and horizontal. And every now and again, I send it through my supervisor, and she will have some comments and feedback on what to change, and I will do so. And then yesterday, the day before that, Monday, I sent this to her, and then she comes back at me yesterday. It's like, why are there horizontal and vertical boxes? And I'm like, because we agreed that was what we had to do to keep things exciting. And she's like, no, we must have had some cross wires. I never said that. And I'm like, yes, you absolutely did. I wouldn't have made this choice if you hadn't told me that. And it's like, oh, well, it must have been a misunderstanding. And it needs to be stressed, this has happened multiple times where I've done some work, I show it to her, and she's like, why did you make it like this? And I'm like, because you fucking asked me to. And then, specifically asked me to. This is not where it's like, oh, I needed to look round, and then I have, a design mentality on how to make something look round. It is, her specifically saying, I want a circle. I put down a circle. Like, that's how specific her requests are. And so I'm like, okay, but why did you not point this out? I made this 2 weeks ago. And we have been ping-ponging back and forth with feedback. And throughout all these times where you have given me feedback, you have not once brought up this vertical or horizontal format of the boxes. Why now? And she doesn't have an answer to that. And I'm like, okay, I can feel like I'm getting agitated and I'm yelling at my supervisor here. Okay, let me calm down. And then I go, all right. Do you want... Okay, so I have to remake all of these. And that's going to be a lot of work. Do you want me to make the vertical box or the horizontal box? And she's like, I want the narrow one. They're both narrow. Supervisor Chan, do you want the vertical or the horizontal one? They're both narrow. And she's like, I want the narrow one. And I'm like, so my colleague who is like been hired at the same time as me, who is also a designer, has to step into the conversation and go, they're both narrow. Do you mean this one takes a screenshot or this one takes a screenshot? And she takes a fucking fat screenshot and posts that in the chat going, this one. I'm like, was it really that hard not to just say the horizontal one? Jesus fuck Christ. And so that day, I was pacing around in my apartment. I will gladly admit that. And today I actually got an apology for this shit. But as I was pacing around my apartment, I could fortunately just tell myself, just 2 more weeks. Just 2 more weeks of this shit. Because I have been offered my old job back that I was so happy for, of which I will be starting the 11th of February. No, not the 11th. The 13th, 14th, I don't know. I'll be starting it in mid-February. And so I think the 11th is my last day at my current office. So yeah, don't call it a comeback. Jesus Christ. And it's a really good contract this time because I was like very adamant, like, hey, I do want to come back, but it's gotta be under like it needs to be proper. So they asked me, what do you want for pay? And the pay that I'm getting for the job that I'm working at right now is pretty good. And I'm like, well, I'm getting paid this much, so that would be nice. And they're like, fair, you get that. Then I'm like, cool. Also, I would like it so that once I start, I'm not gonna have like 3 months of trial period, which is normal in Denmark whenever you get a job somewhere. Because I have worked for you guys for 3 months. And they're like, yes, once you start, you're gonna be full time. Meaning, if you're fired the next day, you will have a 3-month resignation period. Mm-hmm. So, I could not ask for more. And I'm going to be like in the same position as I was last time, as a videographer and content specialist, where I'm. So a quick little story, if you will permit me, Cloudy.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
So, the company that I used to work for, that are now rehiring me, was unfortunately ending up in a financial situation where they had to let people go. They have now gotten a new co-owner who is helping, who is like fixing issues that were with the company before, because apparently some people who were in charge of finances did a poor job, to put it nicely. This person, who became a co-owner, was a former client. This former client became a client because he had seen one of the videos that I had made. So technically, if you think about it, I actually saved the company, but never mind that. So, and that's why, like, he when he came in as an owner, he's like, okay, we're gonna make some fucking, like, I want you guys to make more of these sick ass videos. And my former boss is like, my future boss as well is like, we would love to, but we had to let that guy go. And then the new co-owner is like, all right, then he's gonna be the first one we hire back. And so he called me personally and was like, do you want your job back? Because we need you. And so once I come back, they want me to do, because the video in question that got him interested in using that company was one where I had just like taken the reins completely. I had an idea. I had like fucked around. Like I'm not even kidding when I say I spent one day learning techniques on how to use a camera gimbal, if you know what that is.
No, I don't, but go on.
Okay, a camera gimbal is basically something that stabilizes the camera. If you ever seen like a professional videographer, they will have like this little rig around the camera that kind of stays it, and then they can make it spin or do all this cool shit. And I was just basically looking up like techniques on what can you do with this thing, and then I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we did this and this? And then I like made a little storyboard and I presented it to my boss, and he was like, that's a cool idea. So I spent one day just like sitting on YouTube and watching this shit. Then another day of me just saying, okay, I'm gonna go out and shoot a little bit, and then I went out and shot a little bit, and then I spent like 2 weeks just in After Effects fucking around with effects just for the fun of it. So this was like 100% just me just freestyling, and this was the ad that got the new co-owner hooked. So he wants me to do more of that shit. I'm gonna get 100% free reigns on every fucking video out there. I have been permitted to make a fucking hype video to hype people up that, oh, Lasse is now back, and all this shit. One of the first things that we're going to be doing is also I have to take a drone license because they're apparently investing in a drone that can record in 4K. So like we're fucking back in there, bro.
Holy shit, my boy Lasse is just getting strapped. I'm impressed, dude. Like, damn, I felt good about like just having like food money again. You're just over here like flexing like Jesus, like that, like Jesus in Final Fantasy 14. That image you showed.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. It's like my friends have kind of like teased me that I'm very down to earth about it because when I got the job the first time, which is gonna be weird to say. I was like full on screaming in my apartment. I was like banging my chest, just going, "Let's go!" And I'm not ashamed to admit that. I was so hyped because, as you know, this is the finish line for me. If I can, like getting a full-time job in working with design and videos and all that stuff, that's the finish line for me. Once I pass that, I've reached my goal that I set out like 6 years ago or something now. So I was very happy. Now I'm being much more chill about it. Like even though I just like got very hyped just now, yeah, I am very chill about it. But that's only because right now I still have the job that I have now that I need to finish, and I need to make sure that I'm leaving them in a good place where like they have a bunch of stuff in the pipeline that I'm basically now moonwalking out of the room with my fingers up in the air going, hey, good luck with that shit. So I kind of now need to make sure that they're left in a good place. But then once I'm finally at the job, I can assure you I'm going to be back over the moon again. I'm going to be like super hype. I'm going to be what you guys saw me as when I made, I think it was the last video of the webcomic relief, where I'm just doing a bunch of shit because I think like where that spark of life is back in me. Because I will admit, ever since I lost that job, I've kind of been like deflated. I think it's the best way to say it.
No, that's like the perfect way to say it. It's been hard to get that like hype, like genuine spark of life back into you when it happened, and it hurt to see. But like, I think everyone deep down knew like you deserved this job, you needed to get it back, and so the universe had to be like, yo, who fucked up here? No, we need to change this real quick.
Yeah, so
like Lasse got the good shit back.
So yeah, that is a great story. I can't wait to get back there. Can't wait to get started and just like do the stuff that I love doing. Hopefully the new co-owner is gonna make it so that I don't I'm not just working there 3 months again and then I get kicked out. But it seems like it really seems like he knows what he's doing, so I doubt it.
Okay, I'm really hopeful for that. I'm just always going to say, the moment you step into that room, anytime they try to make a promise, please, for your own safety, try to get it in writing as well.
Oh, I am.
Even if it's just on a scrap of paper, because shit needs to be held accountable.
I made him promise to put that whole thing of me not being in a trial period, to put that on my contract.
Okay, good. Man, like I am just so proud of you, because you deserve that job the first fucking time. And then financial crisis hit, that's always what fucking happens. But like, you did not deserve the like whole bullshit happening at first, and now I'm just glad you're back in the saddle like you deserve, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bitched about my current job just now, and honestly, some of that is deserved, because like that is not how you do like work with a creative person in general. It's fine if you have like second opinions or something, but don't phrase it in a way that you put it on me that I fucked up or misunderstood anything when you have specifically told me something. But be that as it may, all of these people are great people. I'm gonna be sad to see them go, and they all wish me the best going forward. So as much as I bitched about them, I don't want there to be any doubt that I thoroughly did like these people. I did not necessarily enjoy the work so much, because it's very like you've seen my videos. When I like to do dumb, crazy, vibrant shit. So this whole thing of the most flexing I can do is taking a vertical picture and make it a horizontal picture. That's not me. I need the free reign to do dumb shit.
You can definitely tell like how good a company is going to be when you have to deal with people who treat like templates and things by the book as some holy gospel, versus people out there and going and trying to figure out what the hell works.
Yeah.
And I have had to do a lot of like by the book jobs, and I think like the only time I had a job that let me do any sort of free reign, even if it was something as like how I performed on Excel, I performed better and everyone else performed better. The only reason I'm not there anymore is because like they offered me a job as like an electrical engineer, and I'm like, that would require me to go back to college, and fuck that.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but it's more like, but no. Even if the people aren't as good, or aren't, I'm sorry, if the people aren't as bad as like you would like complain, there's definitely a difference between I'm at my job and, oh yeah, I'm back at my job.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely understand that like some workplaces have this whole thing of we're doing it this way. It might not be the most efficient way, but we're doing it this way because it's going to circumvent issues further down the line or something. So I understand that sometimes it's like we're doing these templates because that's what the client asked, or let's not rock the boat or anything. But I got specifically hired as a specialist. I was headhunted for this position because they needed someone with a master's degree and a portfolio like mine. So they wanted me to be the specialist in this regard, where I'm like, they believe that I know best when it comes to these graphic decisions. But at no point did they allow me to flex, like to use these things. It was always like, I don't know if I brought it up when I first mentioned me getting the job, but one of the first things that happened was that we got the design guide from this client, and again, they are very big, so they have like a fucking 108 pages long design guide that I like read through, because that's what you have to do to understand what fonts to use, what colors to use, spacing, white space, logos, all of this shit, all of it. And so I read that, and we make a template of like, this is how we are suggesting that this page should look, with the logo in the bottom right, because that's what it says in their design manual. And then my supervisor looks at it and go, we're not putting the logo down there, we're putting it in the top left. And I'm going, but it's in the design manual. You told us to follow the design manual, so we need to put it in the bottom right. It says so on page 9 of this design document. And then she goes, yes, but if you look on their website, it's in the top left. Now, Cloudy, on every web page, what is the thing at the top called underneath the search bar?
Wait, underneath the search bar?
Yeah, like on every web page, there's a thing on the top of the screen where the website's name or logo or anything is.
A header?
Yeah, a header! Exactly.
Header, okay.
And every header is designed to have the logo in the top left, because you're on a daily basis, the average person visits about 15 different websites. So, of course, you need to fucking hit that fucking logo and name as quick as possible when you open a page, because the average person reads a website from top left to bottom right, just like you would a document. So yes, of course the logo is in the top left, but that's because it's a fucking header. And I'm trying to make the... Go on.
Is this the same person who took the phone screenshot?
Did I send you a phone screenshot?
No. Like when you were describing earlier how like they were trying to figure out horizontal and vertical, and like when they picked one, they sent a phone screenshot of what they wanted.
Yes.
I'm like, that explains everything.
So, like, and again, there were multiple times where it's like, okay, we have agreed that we need to use size 20 font for headers, size 16 for body. Fine, I can live with that. And then when it comes to videos, it's obviously much harder because you're going to have like a lot of zooms and all this shit. And I tried to explain that to my supervisor, like, okay, we can't really have that in here. And then she's like, okay, but we need to follow the design manual.
You didn't do that for the logo.
Okay, so now we're doing it. All right. Putting down a font size 16. And then I make the video, I send it to her, and she's like, why is it so small? Because you told me to use size 16. I told you it doesn't work on video like this. It's not a fucking text document. It's a whole fucking 16 by 9 square in HD, 1920 times 1080. It's gonna look small. Okay, all right, but you should make it bigger.
No shit.
But yes, that's what I suggested in the first place, but you told me to follow the design manual, and now you're telling me not to follow the design manual. And again, it becomes one of those things where, oh, you must have misunderstood. No, you told me wrong!
It's one of those things where you can tell you're going to have a bad time when the person above you doesn't understand how technology works. And I've had several situations like that in every job where someone gets put in a position because I don't know if it was years of experience or they're older or some shit, and they get in there through some means that has to do with like seniority. But like the moment when it comes to like figuring out how all the nuances work, and they're trying to make all the dictate everything, they don't know what the hell they're doing because they don't know why things are the way they are, and it's just painful. Like, I think like my worst experience of this was like in of all things, like a college math course where I had a teacher who didn't know, I swear did not know a lick of math, but would like treat the textbook like the holy fucking Bible. And it's just, you can tell. You can just definitely tell when someone knows the material and when someone doesn't. And when someone who doesn't know the material are dictating everything you need to do, that's torture, my friend. I am sorry.
There was a point where so what they have done is that they made a storyboard for some of the videos that I had to create, and so they have they have the text that needed to be voiceovered, and so I had to do it like as a stand-in before we hire like a real voice actor to do it. And so my supervisor highlights like a sentence, and it's like 4-word sentence. And she's like, is there any chance that we can show like this video clip here? And then like she shows me a video that's a minute long. And I go, oh, okay, like do you, like a snippet from it? No, like can we not fit that in this time frame? And I'm like looking at it, I'm looking at her going, that's 4 words. That's gonna take like 3 seconds at best if I speak slow. If I speak Hayden slow, that's gonna be 3 seconds. What the fuck do you mean you want a minute-long video in there? And she's like, oh, okay, I see your point. What? Huh? You didn't realize before?
Apparently not. I would have just like slowly turned my head and just be like, no, I can't. And if they had the question after that, I would have explained just very calmly. And then slowly go back without blinking.
I will admit that as time has gone on, because I've been doing remote work because we've, COVID and all this stuff. So I'm not showing up at the office. Also because like if they need like me to make videos or something, it's better that I do that on my PC than on a laptop. So, you can see through the chat messages that I have with my supervisor that I'm just losing more and more and more of my patience. There was a time where her and the other designer agreed to change the body text size from 16 to 18, and so some of the feedback that I got from my supervisor is like, why is this font 16? And like my comment is just because you and this other person changed this font size without telling me. Like and every time, and there was multiple times where she would like bring up like, why is this like size 16? It shouldn't be size 16. Make it size 18. Every one of these times that she said this, the reply is the copy pasted because you and the other person changed it to size 18 without telling me. Like, don't fucking put it on me. It's fine to be wrong, but fucking own it. Don't put it on someone else.
I hope they get a new supervisor at this point, or at least like give her a less moderating position.
She's a very nice person. I want to make that blatantly clear, but she's also very, very stressed and has a lot of stuff that she needs to do. And it's very evident that these people have not worked with a designer before. Mm-hmm. Like, if you tell someone, can you make this round? Like the example I brought up before. A designer is going to have like 19 billion different ways that they can make it round. But if what you really want is a circle, you need to tell me a circle. That's why I cannot use stuff like, I want the narrow one, when they're both narrow. Use the defining term. There's a vertical format and there's a horizontal format. Then tell me which one of those. I don't use a word that an option I did not give you, because I'm already putting it in the kiddie pool for you. And and that's where the issue lies, and that they don't know that they have to sometimes be specific, and sometimes they don't have to.
Sorry, I just had a thought because, like, I want to. This is such a good talk because people in general just don't understand how to like deal with designers specifically, and it makes me think of like a lot of those designer memes that go around where they're trying to deal with a client, or in this case, it is your supervisor, where they're gonna throw you a bunch of different words and they don't mean exactly what you've been instructed and taught to believe what they mean.
Yeah.
And that's... Well, at first it's like surprising, but then it's not really, because when you think about it, the reason you become a designer, the reason you become good at your job is because no one else is good at it.
Yeah.
Like when you run into a lot of people who want a designer to do the work for them, but they do not have the vocabulary to explain what they want. It's just fucking rough. You have to be a linguist and you have to be a designer at the same time to be a designer.
Yeah.
I was actually going to transition this because this reminded me of what was it? Just like artist memes in general, how they tend to. Because if there's anything you want to talk about, still we can keep going because I'm about to change to a different topic.
Okay, I have one real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Like one of the issues that we have run into several times, and I think that's one that really encapsulates this whole thing, where I need you to tell me exactly what it is that you want, is we've been dealing with logos, icons, illustrations, and photos, and graphs, and models. All of these things that I've just brought up have been referred to as pictures. So when these people are telling me, can you take this picture from this page and put it on this other page? They are all like, I've just brought up all these different things that it can be. What the fuck are you talking about? And I think that this is something that a lot of artists will also like be familiar with, where it's like if they get something get told by the client, can you make her fur? I'm just like going with a furry for some reason. Can you make her fur bluish? That is like, blue is a wide spectrum. I'm not saying that you have to go and find the fucking hex code or RGB code or anything for it, but
that would be helpful.
That would be helpful, but saying, can you give her bluish fur, and they then come and give you like blue cyan color or something. You cannot fucking go, why did you give her that color? Because that is within this spectrum. You can go, okay, that's not the color I wanted. I wanted something more like this. Maybe give a reference picture, or say I wanted something darker, more leaning towards blue or something. Like, use your words. I can imagine that there are a billion artists out there who have a story where if you go into detail with this stuff, it's going to be much easier for me. But at the same time, I also sometimes need that creative freedom. I commissioned Emily for an art piece, and with that, I had like, okay, I want this jacket, this frame. Think of these stairs, because I'm thinking I want to be sitting on them. I like this and this, like specifically like planting the images in her head and giving her actual references, just so like there's no doubt about it. And then I was like, and then for the rest of it, use the Emily Ree magic. Like, I think that's what many I know that's what designers prefer. I don't know about artists, but you know, that's also a thing that you realize once you become a graphic designer, is that designers and artists are by no means the same thing.
Like, I know for a fact, because like I have plenty of friends who try to make their living off of commissions, and I think they all just unilaterally agree, no, please, for the love of God, give references. It will help us, it will help you, and everyone can go on with their fucking lives. Because, like, to go with, like, the bluish example, if you literally just took, like, even if you don't have a prior picture, send, like, an image of, like, anything that's the same as that blue color, and it'll help.
Yeah.
Like, when you're dealing with art, or with, like, visual medium specifically, get, like, a photo bash of, like, everything you want to... even if it's just, like, even if you can't describe a feeling, show a picture of that invokes that feeling, and that's more help than just saying what the word you're trying to look for is.
Link a song.
Like, fuck yeah. Oh, God. Like, I still remember when I commissioned Hugo for, like, a song for, like, a project that I never ended up doing, but I might reuse for a different project that I'm working on. But, and, like, I just gave him, hey, I want to make, like, anime opening fields, but also use these songs as, like, background feelings. And then he just made it fucking work. And I love him for it. Like, yeah, I commissioned Emily, I did a couple of times. One of them was, like, I just wanted Mateo, the half dog boy, to, like, be doing, like, I wanted him to be in, like, the pose for, I think it was, like, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. So what I ended up doing was, like, not only did I get the box art, I did my damnedest to get, like, the fucking stock, not really stock image, but, like, the flat image without the logo. I got, like, a version of where, like, all the PlayStation 2 shit on it. I did everything I could, so she's like, get this pose, get this feel, and then go fucking nuts. Just slap Mateo on it, and you're good. I still haven't seen it yet, but I know she told me she was working on it. But I also got, like, a different commission where it was just like, here's my character, you should have all the references for Tabby, but, like, it just give them as much as they can fucking work with. I have, like, a whole goddamn folder of, like, cloudy images, not just, like, sprites, just so, like, people, whenever I ask them to draw them, they have enough to work with where I can still be happy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Where's the goddamn commission?
I remember a time where I commissioned Lautaro for a Yakuza piece that I wanted to use for my Let's Play of Yakuza. And in that, I was like, okay, you are allowed to make me more buff. Let's get that out of the way. But I most of all, I just want you to do the Lautaro treatment of this art piece, but I want you to make sure that you get my tattoo in there, like my back tattoo, because this is a Yakuza Let's Play. The back tattoo is kind of like big important. And then I sent him an image of that. And it turned out beautiful. So I definitely feel that there is a balancing act of, like, giving the artist the freedom to like, you're commissioning this artist in particular for a reason. It's rarely to ever out of pity. It is because you want them to put in their type of flavor. And if you just dictate 100% what it is that you want, you're not gonna get that flavor. So I think that there should also be, like, this balancing act of give them enough stuff so they know exactly what to draw, but then, like, give them the freedom to choose how to draw it.
Definitely. It was. I think that what it is, like, when you spend, like, a lot of time, like, doing commissions, you kind of get a feel for how much is too much and how little is too little. The best thing I always assume is, like, get a reference for the pose, get a reference of your character. If you don't have a reference of your character, get as much as you can to, like, describe, like, get a picture of what the hair might look like, get a picture of what the clothes might look like, get a color, like, slap on a bunch of colors and point to, I imagine this color for the hair, imagine this for his shirt, imagine this for his shoes. But, like, you give them enough to be like, I have groundwork to work on, but when it comes to, like, little details and flair, let them go crazy. Because it's always the little things where an artist will always, like, shine. Like, kind of like when you were doing, like, the whole the gimbal thing. You probably could have done a simple template, like, do the simply, but then you were just like, but what if I turn it to this angle? What if I do this? Yeah, as long as the end result is what you imagine, but you let the person doing it have free rein on how it's accomplished, you're always going to get a better result at the end.
Absolutely.
Dictate what you want, not how it's going to be done.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I also like before we move into the thing that you wanted to talk about. I think it's also important to note that don't be afraid of sending pictures of the pose or the or the angle or whatever that you want. I remember when I was commissioning Luke McKay to do the one that we're using for the Discord and the header for my YouTube channel, the finger gun thing to the side of my head. He knew that, okay, this is actually going to be like a pretty integral piece to the webcomic relief. So could you send me some pictures? And God bless Luke, because I was pretty new to commissions at this point. But he knew, okay, this is actually going to be pretty, like, this is going to become like a cornerstone almost of the webcomic relief's identity. So we need to do this right. Can you send me pictures? This is the first and only time that people have ever asked me for pictures, but I grabbed my fucking camera and I took a bunch of pictures, found the one that was like, this one fits. And he managed to, and you can see that art piece and definitely go, this is Luke McKay's art style. Because all I did was, I need you to do this, but in your way. And then that's what I got.
It's still the fucking, like, server icon for the Discord.
Yeah. Because it's a very good picture, because it is me. It's that cocky, shit-eating smirk, it's the eyes, and it's the gun, like, and the hat. Everything there is just like primo. I have no intention of changing
off your imagination.
Yeah. I mean, if might have to commission Lautaro again sometime soon. I haven't thrown money at him for a good while, and that dude does work.
Good fucking shit, man.
Yeah. All right, you had something you want to talk about.
I did, because it actually had to revolve. Well, the first thing I wanted to talk about was like how to do like commissions and how dealing with a designer is like asking commission from an artist, because they kind of overlap a lot. But like the thing I also wanted to just like briefly touch upon was the aspect of how there's like memes or the general like consensus of how it feels to be like a designer and having to deal with a client. That's like a whole feeling that you see on the internet online. You'll always see like memes and jokes about all clients are fucking stupid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But there's like another sentiment that's like I am tired of seeing, and this was brought up in the Wild West like really early, and I think you know what I'm talking about. It's when somebody makes those artist memes on how much of a fucking chore it is. How you have an artist who, I guess you can perceive as being either successful or good at art or like popular, and then they will often make these memes like, oh, it sucks to draw, but it sucks not to draw, but oh, having to do with clients, but having no money. And it was like this really tiring meme of where like this general census, I blame Twitter for this, but it's like, wow, being an artist is fucking hell. And I think that has to get to a point where you'd be like, then fucking stop.
Yeah.
Why are you still doing this? Why are you like, on the exception when you're in a really shitty job and there's no other option for you because there's like a really important obligation, like if I don't do this job, I'm gonna be on the fucking street, or I'm gonna do this job because I'm under contract, or because I have something else. Unless there's like an obligation tethering you to what you're doing, why are you still doing it voluntarily?
Yeah.
Why are you still a fucking artist if you hate art so fucking much? And I know why it is. The reason they do it is because they want the attention. They want to seem relatable because, you know, depression is a hip thing to do with these young kids. And I'm glad to see this, that this like whole mindset is finally being yeeted out of the way. Because we've had a whole fucking decade of it, and I am sick of this doomer-ass bullshit. Speaking as a goddamn doomer myself half the time. But why would you continue to do that if it's not just for attention or for something really pitiful? Because you could do, if you think you can have fun doing something else, do something else. If you don't know what the hell is out there besides drawing, fucking find it. Because you're like, your life isn't a fucking binary. You can do other things if you're not fucking beholden to it, you know?
Yeah. I think it was Denzel Washington that was making there was some kind of thing where he was sitting along with a bunch of other actors, and they were talking about how like Denzel Washington is basically berating other actors for going, oh, it's so hard to be an actor, and he's like, shut the fuck up. You get to wake up, you get to do this passion project of yours, you get to be paid $1 billion fucking dollars to show up for a day and record, and then you can go back and drink champagne for dinner and eat lobster for dinner, and then once the movie releases, you have fucking several months, if not years, where you're not doing fuck all but getting money for just existing and hanging out with people who adore you. Shut the fuck up. And it's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are things to it. Like, I always have a massive respect for the actors who are like, oh yeah, you have to lose 80 pounds or something like that for a role. Like, okay, that cannot be easy. But it's the same thing with actors. Like, if you are enjoying your work, like if you want to be an artist, why bitch about being an artist? Yes, I'm talking about clients here, but that's clients I didn't get to like there was in a job that wasn't even in my like line of work. I had one very bad experience with my prior job where I had to design a logo for someone, but I'm not going fucking clients, because like,
it's part of the job description.
Yeah, it's part of the job description. And most of the time, if you're having a bad client, it's because you didn't set it up properly. Yes, there's going to be cunts that are like gonna fuck you over or be super annoying to work with. But if you're people like Zach or Bonsai, who I know have like a form that you have to fill out, you're basically taking all of this the chance that the client has for being a cunt out of their control, and I instead giving and I like moving the ball over in your court. And I'm never hearing these people complain about shitty like clients, because like they have control over this.
There is like a very good, to circle this back to NFTs, there is a good thing in regulation, because if you control how things are done, it's less of a fucking headache for you. Like, just like the form is a perfect example, because like you just explicitly state, tell me your idea, give me your references, what's your payment things, here's what I can, here's what I will do, here's what I won't do. If you have it all in one fucking place and they still don't understand it, that's their problem. I can just stop this right now. Come back when you learn how to read, motherfucker. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if I was like, it's so hard being a YouTuber, getting paid to make videos online at my own pace and have people telling me how I've changed their life and entertained them and gotten them through hard shit just because of like one or two cunts who are very verbal in my videos about, you said this thing that I never said. Like, no. Like, if you can live, I'm of the opinion, if you can make a living off of doing the thing that you're passionate about, like, you're living a life of privilege at that point. Very few people can do that. I'm happy that I get to do that with my design shit. Like, yes, there are, like, I'm not saying you like once you start doing this you cannot complain, but as you say, there are indeed people who will just like turn it into like their entire lifestyle. Like, my clients are assholes, no one's reading my comic, or life is pain and misery, and like no one is holding a gun to your head and forcing you to do this, my guy.
Exactly. No, like that's what the heart of it is. Like, don't don't lump your passion into this fucking pity party you're trying to do, because it's only gonna piss me the fuck off.
Yeah.
We've had like a discussion about like people who will seek attention because they think that it's easier to like cry and bitch about something and get positive affirmation instead of actually putting in the work for it.
Oh yeah.
And that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. When you have like these artists or designers who are saying, "Oh, being an artist sucks," or "being a designer sucks," they don't really mean that. At the core of it, they're more like it's always something like, this one thing is bothering me, and I'm gonna overinflate it to encompass it to make it look so someone will like me or someone will like affirm me. Yeah. It's annoying.
Like Caesar says in the chat, I mean, I used to bitch about being shit at art until I realized, hey, all the time I spent bitching could be used to practice art. Complaining is just sitting on your ass while you could be fixing the problem. Yeah. Like,
no, that's it. That's basically it.
And I know that like it's especially rampant in the art industry, where you will get people like, I guess my art is really shitty, and like, oh, no one's gonna compliment me. Fucking ask for a compliment if that's what you want. It is perfectly fine. Don't give me this shit.
It is literally a lot more like respectable to come across a post to be like, either, hey, I feel like shit, compliment my art, or even like those cocky fuckers would be like, look upon me, mortals, enjoy this gift I've given upon you.
Yeah.
I'd rather see more shit like that than like the depressive posts fishing for comments, because it's so goddamn tiring.
I'm brandishing the whole like thing of like the crownless king as sort of like a kind of mock moniker, because crownless because I don't have any hair, but also because like I would rather try and put myself on a pedestal and feel like if I think it's Tony Robbins who say that if you one time I kept telling myself for a month, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. After the month, what do you think I thought of myself? That I'm the best. So, I'm gonna say, if I keep saying that I'm the fucking king, I'm the fucking best, I'm gonna feel like I'm the fucking best. And then, sure, there's gonna be some times where people are going to tell me that, hey, this is not very good. And then I'm like, okay, then I can improve it. But this whole thing like, oh, I'm worthless. The things I'm doing are so hard. Oh, my life is pain and misery. Like, fucking do something about it.
Like, it's honestly gotten to the point where if I come across somebody who is, you know, just pulling the whole, oh, no, I guess nobody cares about my art side, I just flat out tell them, then fucking quit.
Yeah.
You're obviously not having fun, and no one's having fun listening to your bullshit. If you think it's not worth it, get the fuck out. Because we have other things to do.
I think we brought it up. I actually think we had this topic up in a previous episode, but it is a very good one. And I think I mentioned this back then as well, and that is being in the position that I am, and it sounds very cocky, but like being a comic reviewer YouTuber, you're going to have people who make comics come to you about the status of their comic or their art or their writing or anything like this, and you get you so often get, oh no, I'm not getting the viewers. Oh no, I'm not getting as many likes as this other person. Or, oh no, like constantly just worrying about bad metrics. And that always makes me sad to see. In every creative endeavor, I always feel that metrics is like, that should be the least important thing. You can definitely use it to gauge like, hey, am I moving the right direction? Could I improve here or something like that? But if you're stuck on these metrics, it's like, why is that what you're making your art for? Again, like we talked about this last week, where I said, I make these videos for fun. Sure, I make a pretty penny off of them, but they've never, there was a time where I wanted it to be a full-time job. It's no longer that. Right now, it's just because I want to have fun with it, and I enjoy making them. I enjoy fucking around with new effects. making funny jokes, making people laugh. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy the community that we have created through this. It has never been about like oh, I want to be as big as PewDiePie, or oh, I want to be a billionaire because of this. Because if that's what I wanted, I would have stopped cussing and using licensed music for my credits and all that stuff a long time ago. But sometimes you just gotta, like, are you drawing this to become popular, or are you drawing this because you enjoy drawing this? Like, go on. If I cut you off.
No, I kind of just took a breath in. No, keep going.
And honestly, I don't really know what more about that there is to say. If you enjoy creating whatever it is, music, art, writing, pictures of your butthole on OnlyFans, videos, podcasts, you name it, whatever it is that you like to create it because you enjoy creating. Don't get into streaming because you want to be like Ninja. Don't get into YouTube because you want to be like PewDiePie. Don't start making a comic because you want to be fucking David Lilly or anything like that. Don't start doing art because you want to be the next Stan Lee. Do it because you enjoy it. That's what's going to carry you. Metrics and all that stuff is going to go up and down. Your enjoyment for a thing it needs to be the constant. You need to nurture that passion. You need to keep that alive. And then you can change everything around it. But the moment you start putting the passion for the thing that you enjoy creating in second place, and instead putting all these metrics and numbers and all this stuff, you're slowly going to take what you're passionate about and just start choking it out. We've seen that countless of times before. Remember Epic Mealtime? They started, yeah, right, Blast from the Past. They started doing, they kept doing the same formula all the fucking time, and it eventually died out. Because people weren't interested in the same stuff all the time, but also because like they weren't enjoying it anymore. There was like before it was like, hey, let's do a crazy thing, and then let's do another crazy thing, and they had fun with it. But then they had to change stuff up to match the formula that fitted YouTube the best, and they didn't have fun with it anymore.
You can definitely tell that, like, okay, I kind of have like secondhand experience with this because I know someone who has like a father who is that mentality where they have a living off of YouTube, and because they took that so fucking far that everyone's lives are hell in that house. Like the father's not the main breadwinner, but because he's put everything he could into like this YouTube business, it was good for a while, but over time, like, you know, ad changes and shit kept fucking him over. That added to the stress.
Oh yeah.
And I want to like make this point apparent, because I don't want to make it seem like we're shitting on people who complain.
No.
There is a legitimate like reason to like complain, not really complain, but like to say that you are having a really rough time. Stress is a real thing no matter what the fuck you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Be it like, you know, like a whatever job you're doing, whatever passion you're doing. Stress is always going to be there. There's always going to be faults with everything. But it's perfectly like you said. When you're doing a passion project and it stops becoming passion and it all becomes about like the metrics, not only will your mood always fucking tank, because your mood is always going to be tied to those fucking numbers going up and down. When your life is so goddamn tied to it, and like you're tied to your metrics, you and everyone else around you is going to be suffering for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not to get like too fucking depressive about it, but like the friend I have whose father is like a YouTuber, like he had to remarry, and he's actually estranged to one of his daughters because he was so fucking out of his gourd worrying about metrics, and it made his anger swing so violently that like parts of his family just started leaving him.
God damn.
Yeah, like, I can understand. Like, you have to know whatever you're gonna do, be it if it's like a computer job, an office job, a desk job, an art job, like a performance job, whatever the fuck. There's always gonna be risks entail. But if you try to put too many things into one fucking place, if you put like your life, your money, your passion, and your job into one fucking space, it's a really fucking dangerous thing. It's a really fucking dangerous gamble to make. So yeah, it like you can have art be your hobby. You can't even worry about the metrics, but like, no matter what you fucking do, don't make it everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, always have something to fall back on. That's what I want to take out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole thing that you say about, like, yeah, absolutely. We're not saying that you can't complain. Like, stress is gonna come no matter what. And I could take the dude who I made the logo for. Fuck me. Oh my god, the dude is like, like, he's the type of dude that you would slap out in public. But there's definitely, like, the people who will complain about something that they are perfectly within their rights and ability to change. And that just like Caesar brought it up earlier, was like, oh no, my art is bad. Then fucking pick up the pencil and start training. Like if you can fix the problem that you're bitching about, I don't want to hear it.
It always just comes down to, you can always clearly tell the ones who are complaining for attention and the ones who are actually fucking struggling.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't describe it, but it is clear as fucking day when you see it.
Yeah.
Especially when it's all like when you're like the artist types like us.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely do the thing that you want to do because you want to do it. Don't do it because other people want you to do it. Don't do it because it's the popular thing to do. Don't do it because it makes good money. Do it because you want to do it. Exactly. It's actually funny because it's a thing that you actually deal with in design thinking, is what it's called, where you a typical case will always be, this company wants to make more money. Okay, but what's preventing them from making money? Well, they're not making any sales. Okay, why are they not making any sales? Well, the prices are too high. Why are the prices too high? Okay, it's because the supply chain, like where we buy them from, are very expensive. Okay, why? Then what is preventing you from buying it somewhere else? All right, so now, like, if you keep like going further and further down, if you keep like asking the question to find like the root cause or something, then you can actually deal with it. And I will be happy to admit that throughout this entire comparison, I have forgotten what point I was trying to make.
The point you were trying to think?
Yeah, I don't know. I completely lost the plot there. But fuck me, it just vanished. Holy shit! I've never tried that before.
That's me all the fucking time.
Oh my god, that's fucking terrible.
Like you're in the middle of speaking and you're trying to explain, like, okay, so here's the thing I brought up, here's the connection I made. Now to show the connection. Where the fuck is it?
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Like, a good 10 seconds into that, I'm like, what am I talking about? Okay, hopefully it'll come back, and I just keep on talking, and it doesn't come back. God, that's embarrassing.
If you guys ever wonder why I talk a lot and why I jumble over my words, it's because of that. That is frequent with me because I have ADHD and I'm trying really hard to keep the point. But I lose that a lot.
I don't even have ADHD. I'm just a fucking idiot.
It's fine. It literally happens to everybody. Point is, eat ass, make cash.
Eat ass, make cash. But in case someone wants to eat ass and they want to make cash, where could they send a detailed guide on how they intend to do so to?
Oh, well, the best place to do that is if you send your ass-eating guide to webcastrelief@gmail.com. So if you too lost your plot, but then eventually found it, you can send an email to where, Lasse?
That would be webcastrelief@gmail.com.
Perfect.
By the way, did you have a shower thought this week?
I mean, it wasn't as deep as the last two. The only thing that came to me in the shower was that Jello is not technically boneless.
What the fuck do you... Again, you gotta remember, we don't have Jello in Denmark. Is there bones in Jello?
So, yes and no. To make gelatin, you kind of like... One of the ways you can do it is like you boil down like... I can't remember if it's like the cartilage or like the collagen. I think it's collagen. Inside of bones. And like you boil out all the funky stuff, and all you're left is like these fats and proteins that when they're really hot, they become like water, but as it cools down, it kind of solidifies into this goopy, slappy shit. Like if you ever seen like a slime in D&D, it's like that.
Okay. I guess you're right.
Yeah. So, or like if you've ever made made a meat soup or meat stew. And you had like a boil a lot, but then like after it cooled down, you took it out of the fridge. It's like this big jiggly blob. That's basically what Jello is.
Okay, I see you.
So like, a lot of the Jello specifically, it's like this clear, goopy substance that's like fruit flavored and shit. But like when you kind of realize like, oh, it's basically just gelatin, and a lot of times when they want to get gelatin, they do the whole bone. Like melting the collagen out of the bones thing. So in a weird cosmic way, gelatin, despite being jiggly and amorphous, is not technically boneless.
Well, there you go. Speaking of food-related shower thoughts, I actually had one earlier this week. Is lasagna just a pasta cake?
Yes, because you're basically layering it. But here's your question: is the cake part the pasta or is it the meat?
Well, isn't it like the entirety of the whole? Like, does it have to be in each individual part?
Well, when you think of like a layer cake, there's one specific like cake part, but then you can co creams or like fruits or jelly or sometimes even other cake.
Well, yeah, but you would still like call the entirety of the layer cake a cake.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you are 100% right on that, in my opinion.
If you put a lasagna on another lasagna, they become one lasagna.
That is true.
That is true.
That's how layering. This is how layering works. But like in your metaphor, if you had to assign components to like maybe like a fruit layered cake, which part of the lasagna do you think would be the cake?
Well, probably like the plates in between.
Like the pasta sheets, or do you mean like the actual ceramic plate?
The pasta sheets.
Okay. Lasagna, the king of pasta, don't question it.
Dude,
no, you're correct.
Dude, lasagna is so fucking good.
It is fucking... Okay, so I don't know if this is like a Puerto Rico thing. I don't know. Because every time I told it to, they told me it's disgusting. But along with our lasagna, my dad also makes one special batch for himself that he puts bananas into it. Because the thing with like Puerto Ricans, we put bananas and plantains into fucking everything. You can go to a stall, get a mofongo, and it's just basically like a ball of deep fried plantains with like bacon and chicken and like vegetables and all that shit, and it's amazing.
I was about to ask, is it good?
Yeah, I love it. I love my bananas in my lasagna too. But you know what? It's my fucking cake. I do what the fuck I want.
I'm not get that cake. I'm not fucking gonna like prevent you from doing that. I'm probably not gonna do it myself, but yeah.
I respect that, and it just means more for me.
Have you ever tried like a fish lasagna?
Not really.
It's really good.
Although I should try that. I fucking love lasagna. Man, where the fuck Garfield at? We're talking about all his fucking favorite shit.
Yeah, fuck Mondays too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So I have like a couple things. Oh shit. We got a. This isn't really a question, but we got an email where someone actually did send something to the webcastrelief@gmail.com.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So Marshall Star Comics. So I think this is DR.
This is DR.
He says, so today you all talked about tattoos or getting them. There's one tattoo I would get, and it would be the only ones I designed, and my pick of the following picture in the upper arm. And, like, that looks really fucking cool. I'm gonna send you the image.
Yeah, sure.
Just so you can, like, put it on screen, so we can all stare at, like, DR's potential tattoo, because I think that's really cool. I don't think you can do the effects, but then again, I'm not really sure how airbrushing works on tattoos. But look at this shit. We inspired someone to send us their tattoos at webcastrelief@gmail.com.
Oh, cool. Let me. Oh, this is a pingy. This is a pingy.
Yeah. Pingy.
That's a PNG for those of you who doesn't speak idiot.
See, I always call them pingoos.
Pingoos.
Pingoos. All right.
I had to tell one of my friends the other day that, hey, if you're gonna send like a big photo to someone like in high detail, send them on TIFF. And they're like, did you mean to write JPEG? I've never heard of a TIFF. And I'm like, why the fuck would you ask me that?
Why the fuck would you ask me that? I like PNG I could understand. Do you mean a JPEG? Get the fuck out of my house.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here with your JPEG. So yeah, here we have Diaz, the thing that he wanted to do. I actually like that one.
I think it's really fucking cool. I don't know if we can do like the computer like brushing effects on your tattoo, but then again, I've seen some crazy shit you can do with like dots. So I think if you like have enough blue and white dots, it'll make that like faded effect. So maybe you could pull this off.
I mean, you gotta remember that they can do shading, like soft shading on tattoos. So I'm sure like they can make like the blur effect. The only thing that I'm worried about is the red point, because you do not want red in your tattoo. It is that simple. Never do it.
Never do it.
Never do it.
Me who sweats profusely as I want to make blue.
Hey, okay, do you know why you don't want red in your tattoo?
Blood?
No, because the red color is the quickest thing to fade. And before you know it, you're gonna have an off-colored yellow red.
Maybe I can do orange.
That is actually a better choice.
Okay, I'll look into that. But, okay. First up, we have a last-minute question from our good buddy Shiza. And he says, recently I've been thinking a lot about the paranormal and the afterlife. If you were a ghost, who would you give a sign of your presence to, and what would you do? Example, type a message out on their keyboard, send a DM from beyond the grave, spill their Cheerios, possess their fursuit, and chase them around with their katana. If you were a ghost, who would you haunt, essentially, is what the question is.
Oh, I actually have an answer to this, because this is a conversation I've had with Alice. I'm gonna be haunting Alice, and I'm gonna be, every time that she's looking away from the computer, I'm gonna write cunt.
God, bitch, you got me this time. Fuck.
I'm worried with how prepared I was. I talk about the dummy shit with Alice, but yeah, that. Well, how about you,
No,
bro?
that's brilliant. Oh man, I never thought about that. If I had to be stuck in this mortal plane, okay, I would follow around, like I would stay in a haunted house, and I would specifically wait for like ghost hunters to come, and I would follow them the entire fucking time, and the moment the camera goes off, I'm gonna like drop a chandelier, or I'm gonna make the floor break underneath them, or I'm gonna have like their truck explode. Oh. Something incredibly big and violent, and they're gonna miss, and they're gonna have no proof of it because they're already gonna shut off the camera.
Like when you put it like that, I want so when they do like an EVP.
Yeah.
I want when they're doing an EVP to just like really lean into the mic and go, "Hello, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty."
Oh, that's good. Like, I want to fuck around with ghost hunters if I'm forced to be stuck on the earth for the rest of eternity. Because that's going to be hilariously fun. I'll never haunt anyone who doesn't deserve it. But if they have a camera, they're probably fucking deserve it.
Like those episodes of Ghost Adventures where the ghost swears on the EVP and they have to bleep it. Yeah, that's always like the funniest thing because like it's listen closely and it's just shh, and then the loudest fucking beep.
No, you can't say that on a television. Oh no! Fuck! Wait, no, we have to bleep you now. That was a good question. I had fun with that one.
Yeah, I had fun with that one.
We have another one from Shane O'Brien.
No.
And Shane says, "Dear Cloudy and Lasse, I have some questions for you for the Shane, I like you. For the love of God, punctuate!" Okay, watch me lean in. I have some questions for you. The first question that is the I choose violence question. What are your thoughts on the whole Lindsay Ellis getting canceled? I am hearing people's thoughts on it from different views. And is this the other tale that YouTubers and other online personalities learn from not making the same mistakes? Or is it a case of bullying someone off the platform? Lindsay Ellis was a while ago, wasn't it? Fuck. I don't remember that.
The last time I heard about her was when she was caught for DUI. I
don't think that's like canceled. Like, Shane, can you explain how she got canceled this time?
I didn't know she was canceled.
Was this I think it had something to do with like a movie or like replying back to trolls. I barely remember, to be honest with you.
The only thing I remember that was that like she was, I think she was approached by Movie Bob, and she was like, "Okay, dude, you need to listen here. I'm not interested in you at all." And Movie Bob had like a fucking, like a fucking meltdown. It's over Rayla the Last Dragon. Okay, I am completely out of the loop here.
Okay, so I do vaguely remember this, and I'm trying to look up the tweet, and I'm like, also watch Raya the Last Dragon. I think we need to come up with a name for this genre. It's basically Avatar the Last Airbender Redux. It's like half of all YA fantasy published in the last few years. You can see where if you squint, I was implying all Asian-inspired properties are the same. Oh! That's what this was about? Oh. Asian, like, she made like a tweet about like stuff seeming like Avatar The Last Airbender, and then Twitter was like, "Wow, so you're being racist to all Asian people, I see." And I'm like, that's what you got canceled over?
Really? So it's one of those.
Like, she's like, she's one of those, like, from what I understand, she's one of those like people who will like actively like do the whole LGBT like not really, what's the word I'm trying to advocating, yeah, like all her videos where like she will definitely like be on the side of, you know, issues like these, and like I feel like calling her out for like weird racism doesn't make a lot of sense to me. She doesn't seem like the person to be. Like, she probably is. I don't fucking know. I don't know. The only thing I know about Lindsay Ellis is the whole fucking hot dog bukkake gif. But, like...
Alright, that's
that? I'll fucking share it in a bit. But when you're talking. But it's like... again, you're just like reminding this of me, so I can't really give myself an informed opinion because I had no idea that this was a thing, that she got canceled because she apparently says people perceive she says something bad about Asians.
Yeah.
I don't know the full context, but if that's what it boils down into, then like no, Twitter's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, like I'm of the opinion that like I don't feel one way or the other about Lindsay Ellis. I never found her very funny, but that's about it. But yeah, this does seem very, very like mountains out of molehills. She made a tweet that could be misconstrued as one thing, and she has claimed, no, that's not what I meant. That would like, it seems like a silly thing to cancel someone over.
Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, you can probably tell, like, Avatar especially was like really influential, especially in like the States.
Oh yeah,
because like people are still fighting over the idea if it's considered an anime or not, which is really fucking stupid, but whatever.
What would you qualify
it's a really
as?
I would say yeah. I'd call fucking Gravity Falls an anime.
Fuck.
I'm of the opinion that like animation as a whole is like more than just a genre. It's a medium you can work with. Like the only thing that nebulously defines anime is its Japanesiness. But I'm getting ahead of myself. When people like when you say things are inspired by Avatar: The Last Airbender, like no, that's perfectly fine to say.
Yeah.
Like just because it has like Asian inspired properties, that's not the only reason why you compare it to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like you can definitely tell in terms of like story beats, because like that shit was influential at the time. Nobody was doing that except in anime, so that's why when people want to do like Asian-y kind of things, you want to look back at your catalog, and Asian things are kind like, aside from going to like anime references, you got to go with the backlog you have available to you, and usually Avatar is on that list. So of course you're going to take shit from that, and depending on how blatant it is, well, there you go. So I don't know what the hell the nuances of this hot dog bukkake girl's plight is, but I have no opinion. It's like Twitter being Twitter.
Yeah, like don't fucking cancel over that. Cancel her for doing a DUI and bringing other people in danger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more opinion. That's something you can't have an actual opinion about.
Yeah. Caesar says, I remember Merriweather put out a poll asking if anime was a genre or art style, and when he didn't get the answer he wanted, he deleted it. Is that
what was the answer you
got? Yeah, what was the answer? I want to know.
I'm gonna Google this.
Well, he deleted it supposedly.
Yeah, but like people find ways to like copy shit like that. Hang on. I'm gonna look up Merriweather anime poll. And I'm gonna look on Google Images and see if I get it. No, I just got all of his art.
There you go.
Hello, big boob chungus. Anime poll Twitter.
Okay, but while we're on the subject, so I'm gonna do a hot take here, and it's probably gonna get me canceled. And there's nothing against Mary at all. He's a lovely guy, but I don't find his thing where, like, I don't recall what it's actually called, but that thing where you take an inanimate object and then making it humanoid or something. It apparently has like some kind of name. I don't think he does the world's greatest job at that. Like,
Gajinka,
okay. Like, his Switch Girl, it's the exact same chick as all the other girls, she just now has red and blue, like half part. So it's like why not make something like give her prosthetic arms or something, because hey, a Joy-Cons on a Switch can come off or something. Like it is the most base layer Gajinka in the world, where his Gajinkas only uses the color of the thing that he's making it out of, and doesn't actually like it. At least to me, it doesn't really feel like he's going like the extra mile to make it interesting. I remember when there was the whole thing of like, hey, let's make Xbox and PlayStation like into hot anime girls. I don't think it was necessarily Mary who did that, but I remember like, then they made the Xbox chick, so, like she was chucking down monsters and it was very much like a tomboy, and you had like PlayStation who was like this hot secretary waifu or something, because that very much reflected the targeted audience and the mood and tone that they wanted to appeal to with each like console. So it's like, that's cool because you did more than just take the colors. I don't know. Again, nothing against Mary at all. It's just that like for something he does so much, I'm kind of like surprised that I personally like you could do more. Also, apparently, people said that anime is an art style, and he did not agree with that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually sent you the screenshot of somebody took before it got taken down.
I'm not gonna show it on stream because that's gonna be like that's gonna be mean. But yeah, is that one vote?
Yeah. I have to imagine. It was probably not 100%. It wasn't really 100%. There had to been, but I feel like art style had to have like won out.
Well, yeah,
that's what the implication is.
It does say there's 23 hours and 59 minutes left, so it's probably just been put up.
Yeah, it's probably just been put up. But like I'm reading the comments, and like the people lean towards art style anyway. So it probably wasn't 100%. It was more like 60-40.
I don't fucking. I neither know nor really care at the end of the day.
I'm just like, you know what? We came full circle. Big Chungus is now big booby waifu. So
yeah.
Hey. But we do have one last question from Shane O'Brien.
All right.
And the second question is: apart from the Yakuza, as I know that be your number one, what type of organization, crime group you love to be setting a crime story about? Mafia Italians, Russian ones, cartel, or the triad?
Probably the triad. They have that whole thing of death by 1,000 cuts. Have you ever heard that?
No, I haven't.
And so apparently it's where they tie you up, and then they cut you 1,000 times. Surprise, surprise. But they like specifically like do it in places where it really fucking hurts. And supposedly, at some point during these 1,000 cuts, you're either gonna die from bleeding out, or your nervous system is just gonna shut down because you're in so much pain. That's fucking nuts.
That's fucked.
Also, like, I fucking adored the video game Sleeping Dogs, which was all about the triad, and so if like I can make another story like that, fucking get me in there.
I guess this is bias for me because I just want it to be addressed more, but I want I want a game about like the cartels in El Salvador because I want people to know about it first of all, and not just and not past the superficial, you know, Mexico's Mexico kind of level that you get from most Americans. It's like, oh, you mean you come from that drug place? Fuck off. It's like that. That's really as far as it goes. But I'm like, I don't want them to be redeemed. I just want people to know about it, like the cartels happening in El Salvador.
Did you ever hear about the Mayor Punisher?
No.
I don't recall where exactly it was, whether it was Brazil or Spain or Mexico or whatever the fuck. But one of these places had a mayor, and his entire thing was that he would be a mayor by day, and by night he would go out and just do vigilante work where he would shoot up like cartel members. Like full on kicking the door down and just start shooting people left and right. And it's a real story, and it's fucking nuts.
And he's not, and that's legal because he's the mayor. Okay, cool.
I don't know if it's necessarily legal, but it's like one of those things where people are like, well, are we gonna do anything about it?
Not really. Like,
I mean, he's fixing the problem.
Go off, Batman, I guess.
Yeah, there's another one that I know Bonsai at one point linked in the Webcast Relief Discord, where it's a dude who also just like does vigilante work towards these cartel members and crime bosses and shit, and he will like hold them up at gunpoint and dress them up like girls and force them to kiss each other and shit, and then post the videos online. And he's like, and he always like masks himself up so no one knows who this person is. But you can actually go and find the videos and like news stories about people going, we don't know who this is, but here's this known crime boss that the police has tried to get their hands on for years, in a yellow dress kissing his underlings.
Oh. You know what? Vigilantes are cool.
Yeah.
Don't do it because you'll probably get shot, killed, or arrested.
Oh yeah.
It's cool.
It's cool when it works out.
Yeah, when it works out. When it doesn't,
then you become a hashtag.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the president of Thailand or something that he ordered the police to go and kill every drug cartel member? Maybe, again, I don't know where it's from. I just could have sworn it was like South America or something, but I don't know.
I thought it was like somewhere. We're probably like mixing up a bunch of different things because I know what you're talking about, and that one's not vigilante work. That's just a fucking police state. Where like I don't remember if it was like I don't know if it's like Indonesia or like one of the island states that are in that weird Pacific area between Asia and Australia. But like there was a president who wanted to crack down on drugs so goddamn hard, where like police are authorized to use armed force on anyone they find selling drugs or in possession of drugs.
Is that a blunt? Bang, 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 bang.
Basically, message board brought to you by Cloudy.
Is that the devil's lettuce? Well, you're about to see the devil. Bang, 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 bang.
Okay, so yeah, I think it was the Philippines. Where this shit was happening. So, smoking a blunt, time to get smoked.
Oh, that's a good one. If you have
that's the title. That's the title for this week.
Smoking a blunt, time to get smoked. I can't fit that all in there.
Oh, okay.
I have Cloudy will remember that right now.
Fuck it, keep that then. Cloudy will remember this.
Like if you have to be a vigilante, you have to have one-liners. What's the fucking point with being a vigilante if you can't throw out one-liners?
I'll have what she's having.
Bang, 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 bang.
Nothing to do with what we're doing. It's been revoked.
Leaf.
Actually, that would work if you were the mayor.
Oh yeah.
You just bust out the door and just be like, "It's been revoked."
What's been revoked? Shut up. Bang, 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 bang.
Your life expectancy. I'm a little sub. Machine gun. Bang, bang, bang. That should be a question. Next week, somebody ask the question: if you were a vigilante, what would your one-liner be? I'm gonna write some down for next week.
I'll probably have forgotten by then, but I'm pretty good at coming up with them on the fly.
Yeah.
But
I think that'll be it for today.
Yeah, I think so too. So we will see you guys next week. Take care and bye bye.
Bye, everybody.